I wanted to do a quick video on a model airplane club that has adjusted well to the environment they have to operate in. That is, very little room for flying. I have been a member for a couple years, although only connected through Zoom sessions to their monthly meetings. They have a website and a Facebook page. They do many activities out in the community, and they have a wonderful newsletter. Their meeting place seems to move around. Sometimes they're in a parking lot out in the dark. The president is Dave G., who I had met several years ago at a science convention in Cincinnati, Ohio, as part of the AMA education group. This month they had their meeting indoors, and they always raffle off prizes that I believe are free. And the newsletter usually includes plans. Their contests are not the usual AMA categories, but more like let's pick a particular type of model, and then everyone can build that to compete. This month it's a low-wing kit scale contest. So here's a screenshot from the November meeting, and you can see I'm up in the upper part of the screen as an icon. There's another person that's doing remote too. The Black Sheep Squadron were a big part of the AMA Expo, and always had a great display and did flying indoors also. I think they did builds on the spot, and they had kids building model airplanes there too. At this particular event, they really had a neat display with things that were twirling around in the sky, and they've done more local sort of things like displays at a library. Here's a picture from a indoor contest. They seem to have a couple of different places where they can fly indoors at times. I found this interesting. I had shown through Zoom my Pogo engine on a control line model, and in the next newsletter they had done research about the Pogo engine. I found this rather unique, where they lifted up these gliders on a pole and then dropped them to glide around indoors. Here you see Dave G. helping a student with a AMA Cub in a schoolyard. If you're thinking the name Dave G. sounds familiar, he writes the safety column in Model Aviation magazine. Another name that is probably familiar is Howard Littman, who sells a line of kits. He had designed this ROG model called the Skinny Bomber, which Dave had mentioned in his last column, and there's going to be a postal contest for it towards the end of November. I was out flying mine in the cold the other day, and it looks good. It appears most of their flying is done at a place called the Grassy Knoll, which is part of the Woodley Park. Years ago, I understand there weren't trees in this area, but they've been planted in more recent years. I hope I got the right area. I took this view off of Google Earth.